Wow, this is a strong start. Hey guys, what's up? It's the Golden Frying Pan Man here, and we're on a new map. And I know that's probably not what you're expecting, cause the last couple have been on one mission, so now to have one on this, it's a little bit different, you know. But I figured I'd change it up, cause sometimes change is nice, but also mainly because I wanted to. And this is four tours, or four like mission things and one tour. Why am I explaining it? It doesn't really matter. Um, but what I want to talk about today is expectations, because they. I'm so glad of that. I'm so glad. Um, Expectations are a thing that really it's a passive amount, but it expectations really define us um, a lot. It's not a conscious amount, but it's still something that's very palpable, especially whenever you get into like creative worlds and creative works and stuff like that. It becomes really apparent just how much expectations actually influence people and their creative endeavors, their thought processes, how they feel like they should progress, how they should continue, is often defined by how others expect them to. Right? It's a huge economy. The expectation economy is one of the most important in the world. You know, not everything has an economy or a market or anything of the sort, but it's still something that I feel like is incredibly under actualized in uh, it's incredibly unactualized whenever it comes to okay. It's incredibly unactualized whenever it comes to creative endeavors, but also just day-to-day life. Because a lot of what we do, a lot of what we build is just built off of expectations, right? What what we think and what we think others think of us, what we think that is standard for us, what we think is crazy for us. It's all built off of expectations, even if it's passively. Um, and it's a thing that I want to talk about because the last last video I was super happy with, right? I thought it was really oh crap. I thought it was really great. I'm really happy with how it turned out from start to beginning. Uh, Grab the freaking thing! Um, and crap. Yeah, honestly, I needed to die anyway. Nope. Um, and I have, to a certain degree, an expectation that this one is going to be better. Because in my mind, the last couple ones have been just up and up. In my opinion, it has been improving steadily, not rapidly, but considerably every video, and I'm really happy with it. Um, but also, I can't really. It's gonna stop someday. That's the thing about exponential greatness is it can't be exponential forever. It just cannot. This. It can't be exponential forever. That's illogical. That doesn't make any sense. Um. Oh, frick me. Ah, crap. Um. And so now I'm trying to go into the next video with the expectation that it's going to be better than the last one, with other people expecting it to be just as good, if not better, than the last one. But this is also getting into how important it is just to not acknowledge them at times. Expectations are some of the most powerful assets that you can have, because on one hand, they propel you to great heights, right? Where as you do what others expect of you, as you apply this thought that whenever you're doing something for what you think others believe you as, you have a whole nother type of motivation. You're not doing it for you. You're doing it for future you. You know, there's more weight. It's not just something that you can be callous with, right? Except some people are, and that's the thing. They're just like, I don't care. It doesn't matter. You know, who cares? It doesn't. I don't care. And that's something that they're like, yeah, that's the expectation that they wish to hold. That's what they want to have. And that's not necessarily a bad way to look at it, I'd say. It's certainly an interesting way, and I don't necessarily know if I subscribe to it. But it is an idea that is worth acknowledging and treating with validity, because, I mean, it's a serious way of thinking. It makes sense. And honestly, sometimes it's way healthier than, like, just frittering away your time. Like, spending so much time and care and effort with what you think others think of you. That's what expectations are. It's you thinking what others think of you. And that's kind of temperamental. You know, it gets really in and out of hand, you know, and things like imposter syndrome become commonplace. Imposter syndrome is not among us. It's actually this case where you get so. It's basically you getting so caught up in the stuff that you make. That you no longer know if you can make it anymore, because people are like, "Oh, this is peak. This is so amazing. This is the best." But you don't like. You're like, "Awesome. Okay, cool. Is this next one gonna be that way? Is this next one gonna be as excellent? I mean, I can hope it is. I think it is, but you can never really control other people, and that's where I think a lot of the negatives with expectations come from. There's a lot of stress involved, because at the end of the day, you can't really control people. It's just not. It's not feasible. There are some things that you can do. Hey, bro, frick off. Hey. Oh, uh-oh. Ow. And that lack of control, that lack of guaranteed consistency, scares the crap out of people. But I think one of the most important things is, once again, to do it for you. You know, it's not a surefire answer. It's not a hey, this will stop you from having imposter syndrome. But it is certainly it's certainly a way to reevaluate why you may have this issue, right? With if you do things for you instead of doing them for anybody else, instead of doing it for the audience, you're a lot safer, because if you're happy, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they think. But here's where a problem comes in, especially in creative worlds, where that's your job, bro. Your job is to make them happy. Your job is to predict what their expectations are. At the end of the day, that's kind of what YouTubers are selling. That's all that they're selling. They're selling expectations, you know? The expectation that this next video is gonna be worth your time. This next video is gonna be funny. This next video is gonna be interesting. This next video is gonna be awesome, right? It's all expectations. And so, I wouldn't say it's the same for all of media, because there's certainly more nuance to it than that. But even then, there's so much that goes into expectations, breaking expectations, tropes. You know, there's a huge everything whenever it comes to like narrative worlds seem to revolve around expectations and the handling of it, the handling of the past, the handling of the present, handling of like what people think are gonna happen in the video. Because at the end of the day, if the movie, you know everything that's gonna happen in the movie, it's not gonna be regarded as a good movie. Like, people will say some parts about it are good, interesting, nice concept, but like, great example. Luke, I am your father from Star Wars. If you didn't know that, by the way, that's not my fault. Crap. But like whenever it first came out, that was not the expectation. That was not what people thought was gonna be said, you know? And so it blew people away. But now people make fun of it because of how well versed it is in like media and stuff. I should have. Uh-oh. Crap. That's all that tropes are. That's all that. That's all that like. Okay, is he dead? Cool. Hey, stop that. Don't break my stuff. Oh, okay, I didn't realize that heals it. All that tropes really are is expectations condensed. Coagulated, I guess. You know, where... Oop, don't want to miss that. Where they... essentially, they commit, like, really heavily to different things and how people expect, because whenever you get down to it, there's even things of like, oh, we're doing the expectation of where like what's gonna happen, or like if this is relatable to me, if this is realistic, if it's not, and like many times, most even extreme like video series and stuff like that are very well based in reality. They are based in like a great story will relate to everybody, and they'll relate to everybody extremely. And a great example is like Kung Fu Panda. It's a panda, bro. That's a panda, dude. Like, you want me to relate to that? That's a freaking panda, my guy. But despite the fact that it's a freaking panda that knows Kung Fu, he knows Kung Fu, by the way. He talks about some really, really relatable and interesting things, like imposter syndrome, like the expectations that is given to him with the name of the Dragon Warrior, right? He's thrust from this nobody to now getting everything and being scared that he's gonna fail the name. And whenever you can also say, like, there are other negatives to expectations. You know, coming into your own, there's negatives for expectations that can't necessarily be combated. Where, like, for instance, if you think about it, all that brands that are expensive are selling is expectations. That's it. They're just selling a name, right? They're selling like the idea of their thing, which is really strange to say, but you know, that's just the world that we live in, and people eat it up. People love that, because then they believe that expectation will like get transferred onto them. That now that they're wearing the cool expensive shirt, now they're a cool expensive person, right? Now they're worthwhile because they have the cool thing, which is very shallow. Let's just be honest with ourselves. That's a really shallow way to think. Um, but regardless, that's the way a lot of people do, um, and it's kind of you know, recommended in many cultures because, to be fair, it makes a lot of money. So, you know, we love the economy. Oh my gosh, I love the economy, guys. But expectations and how to treat them. Wow, okay, cool. Um, Expectations and how people treat them are really, really important because they can literally make or break you. There's a lot of psychological torment that comes into how people think of each other. Um, you know, they should have made this. Oh, hey, hey, hey! How am I able to pick that up then? But whenever I'm right by it, it won't let me pick it up. That's stupid. Um, cool. That was nice. I can't believe the scout sucks so much. The scout's so terrible. He missed $5 entire dollars. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? I literally don't need any of this. I already have everything that I would need. I guess I'll just... yeah, we'll do this. Action. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. Log off, man. You're done. Yo, can we ban this guy? Can we ban this guy? Wait, did I get two-way teleporter? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay. But expectations and how you handle them are very indicative to a healthy lifestyle. You know, after all, there are some people that just don't care about what the expectations are thrust upon them. They're like, I don't really care. You know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be me one way or another. And other people, expectations are what define them, right? They use it as a weapon to get what they want, what they need, and to craft themselves perfectly. And those people, I think, are kind of stupid. Cause like, removing any sort of like humility, I guess, any sort of that was a really convincing bot. Treating it as though that is your life robs you of character in my mind, because it while it does make you an interesting character, like not real, it also just makes you feel fake. It makes you feel hollow, like you're not, like you have a toy gloss over you, right? Nothing about you is real. Everything is artificial. Something that I recently thought of. I have a friend that's into art, and he was telling me, I was like, how can you replicate a art style? And he told me, an art style is just where the artist is willing to mess up and cheat. And I think that's really interesting because that's kind of what a personality is. You know, there's so many different things that go into people, but at the end of the day, I should move this over here. At the end of the day, a lot of things are just, you know, about where you're willing to just cheese your life and where you're not. What what you care about and what you don't is what really defines you. And so to not allow yourself to cheat, to not allow yourself to be flawed in any way, is, you know, it's inhuman in a very interesting way. And this is funny. So there's a book that what's going on over there? There's a book that I read. My ex suggested it to me, and she really liked it. And so I was like, okay, I'll read it. I started reading it, and if you want to know what it's called the 48 Laws of Power. And it's a freaking terrible book. It's not a terrible book in the way that it's written poorly, or anything along those lines, because honestly, it's one of the best written books I've ever read. While a lot of it does feel really up its own butt, where he's typing as though he's a freaking, like, a really smart scholar to make it so that, like, not really smart scholar. He's selling the expectation, right? Where it's like, oh, this is a lifestyle book of, like, ancient history or, like, ancient tactics on how to accrue power. So he's selling that expectation. But on the other hand, it's just how to be a jerk. One of them says, don't trust your friends, only trust your enemies. Another one says, destroy your enemies completely. And, you know, you can get into, like, oh, well, it's supposed to be, you pick one thing, you pick another thing. He literally said, all publicity is good publicity, which is just not true. I would like to remind you, that is not a true statement. All publicity is not good publicity. A lot of the examples that he gave are incredibly outdated and were niche to start off with. But regardless, all that video tells, and it's regarded as one of the best videos for, like, changing mindsets or, like, accruing power or whatever, is how to pretend to be perfect. And how to scrub yourself of any sort of flaw. Which, don't get me wrong, this is not me saying that, like, oh, trying to improve or get better, or be, like, as good as you can be. I'm not saying that that's wrong. That would be stupid. But it is a thing that I am saying, allow yourself to be human. You know, the things that make you are. It's not the lack of interesting things about you. It's that where you're allowing yourself to be flawed. And that's not saying, hey, your flaw is that you like to say the N-word. No, that's not what I'm saying. Or you like to be mean to people, or you like to be rude, or anything like that. I still very much so believe that you should try and always be kind and improve, even though honesty is a good policy. But that's a completely different topic. I'm just saying that expectations. Oh, we only got a sentry buster in a couple of levels. Expectations and how they are dealt with. Is really important. You need to not just let the expectation define you. You need to not just be this perfect person or buy into this character. If you do, you'll go crazy. You know, some people are really good at it. Some people just play characters all day, and that's what they do. They're just 8-8. That's all they do. And they're really good at it, and that's how they cope with things. But I still wouldn't say that that's a sustainable way of life. You're living a lie. And, you know, living living a character and living a lie are two different things. Are you kidding me? Okay, they're just making up for the fact that we haven't gotten any Sentry Busters for the last couple ones. Put that there. Yeah. So, is this not reach? Anyway, are you freaking kidding me right now? What the heck is up with you? What's your problem? Anyway, allow yourself to just be not terrible, but just inefficient in some ways. You know, complete efficiency is a machine's thing. And obviously, you're frick off! You're gonna want that sometimes. You know, you're gonna want a machine's precision sometimes. Oh, frick. Nope, I'm just gonna keep. I do not care. Don't let yourself become the machine. You know, there's a lot of people that like to. All right, he's made up for himself. Okay, just grab crates. And then I guess, yeah, blast resistance again, and I have all the important resistances. So jump height. Jump height! Let's go. Watch this. Wait, watch this. Meow. That's my favorite. I can jump up here. No, I can't. I can jump up here, though. That's my... I love it so much. So, yeah. Don't let expectations define you. Because at the end of the day, this... If I did, this video at some point wouldn't have to come out. Because there is here's a fact of life. One day you are gonna reach your peak and you're never gonna get that good again, right? That's a simple fact of life. You are going to have the top of your life someday, whether it's in social recognizability, in moral standing, in friends and loved ones and money, whatever. You are going to have a peak. And to expect anything less is ridiculous. It's stupid. But there's nothing wrong with having a peak. You know, after all, that... I'm gonna wait till my sentry gun's in range. Wow, okay. I do not have to. Alright then, I just, they don't have bones, they're metal. Okay then. Expectations. Alright, wow, we're just shredding through these guys. These guys don't even know what hit them. We're just built different, bro. We're just built better. Alright, okay, maybe I was lying. But, something that, to quote, me, I said this, I made this up, and I'm really proud of it. Every great mountain range is gonna have multiple beautiful peaks, but only one of them can stand above the rest. But nonetheless, that doesn't mean that any of them are any less beautiful, or that you should not try to get to the top of them. You know, the expectation that you're no longer, like, that this is no longer gonna be the top, this is no longer gonna be peak, this is no longer gonna be what defines me, what my legacy will be. That's okay, you know. Sometimes you just need to rest. Frick. You destroyed my dispenser? Oh, what a freaking piece of crap. I am surprised I did not get absolutely obliterated. I saw that with my eyes. I wonder if you're a spy. You frick! Cool. Yeah. Let's see. I'm expecting to get a golden frying pan. Actually, I'm not, but that buys into making it so much greater whenever I eventually do. Someday. Someday I will. Someday. Will it be 2 day? It's not going to be 2 day because I'm not completing a tour, but all right.
Heck yes.
See ya.